This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place where you can take $10,000 off the 2025 Acura MDX. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Could be good evening, could be good afternoon, could be good midday. I don't know, wherever it is you're watching, listening. Thank you. We appreciate you as always. Welcome aboard to Le Programme. Yes, sir. It is Friday. It is Valentine's Day, February 14th. So there you go. You guys got to come through now. And ladies, you got to come through too. Depends on who's watching, right? Anyway, appreciate all of you out there. We are here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Caspa is a pumping. I like it. Approaching that 11-cent range. Market is, at least crypto market is moving. The Dow is barely up, and the S&P is barely up, but it's all right. At least we got some stuff moving right now, as it is. The great Sean Stanley is by my side. We are out here at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. So come on by. You happen to be in the area in the next couple of hours here. Come on by and say hi. What else? Oh, by the way, we have a new episode of the Crypto Bro Show. Episode 49 is out. We put it out last night. I told you I would do one. We just did it a little later and got that done. Oh, by the way, I did figure out the coin that I bought from because the Trump Liberty people are buying all kinds. You know, they're buying Ethereum like it's going out of style. So they bought this coin called Move. And I was right. I was wrong. I thought it was another coin, but then when I went to go look at it, because I had it in another wallet that I have and another laptop, so I couldn't really look at it, and it was Move. Now, here's the thing. I know nothing about Move, but for the hell of it, I threw $50 on it when Trump and company bought it the first time, which was 2 weeks ago, right? Only problem is, Sean, it was at 72 cents. I thought it was 22 cents. It was 72 cents. It's at 57 right now. And by the way, Trump bought 2.5 million more yesterday of it. So I don't know. He even bought the dip of it. But I'm not buying the dip. I just threw it there and just said, you know what, let me see what happens, because I know nothing about this Move thing. I haven't even looked into it. I just threw it in there just to All right, when I go back into it, I'll look at it and keep up with it and see, all right, well, what's he investing? Why? I wanted to see if it would go up, if it would go down. Right now, I'm down. So, like, you know, I'll stick to the stuff I know, and so it is Move yesterday. So just in case you watched the episode and I couldn't figure out what it was Move. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it. By the way, did move something now? Yeah, that's the thing. Did it move some now? Let me see. Because now that the market is kind of green right now, I actually didn't even check this morning if it moved. No, it's still at 57. Yeah, still at 57. I'm still losing. No, 58. It went up 1 penny. Okay. We're getting closer to 72. Okay. We're moving exactly in the right direction. Yes. That's why you got to watch out who you take advice from, So we'll see how that one works out. But anyway, we got some stuff to talk about. David Furones will join us at 10:30. Manny Navarro will join us at 11. We'll have our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report and our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report. And there's always juicy stuff going on with that, obviously, because they're always going to action. Let me see. The glare's not too bad. Oh, Kyle Lowry coming by. Kyle Lowry making an appearance, man. I like it, man. It's pretty cool when I like it. There we go, man. That is awesome. It just seems to happen like all the time. At least I got to give Kyle Lowry a little love, because I think it's pretty awesome. Let's see. I just got to tweet it out, because it's important to have people find out about this kind of stuff. That way we got to keep up with. It's breaking news. Kyle Lowry's here. You think he might be playing basketball somewhere? No, he's right here. He's definitely right here. That's what it's all about. So good job by Kyle Lowry, dude. I like it. And if you want to check out Kyle Lowry's picture, all you got to do is go to our Twitter page at Big O Show. In fact, you can show them right there the tweets too. Some of them may not have Twitter. You know what I'm saying? They can see Kyle Lowry come by. Stephen Harris, good morning to you, sir, on the chat board. Make sure you smash it. Oscar Rojas in Melbourne, smash it. Jay Gelfin, Shabbat Shalom, smashing it. He says, happy Valentine's Day to all. Remember, 7 years ago, 17 lives were taken at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Yes. Very tragic. One-Eyed Jack, good morning, sir. Jeff in Long Island is in the house. Dolphin Dave, look at that. How nice is it of Kyle Lowry to come by? I mean, there's another angle of him. There's 2 angles there. We got 2 shots of him. Show him the other shot, it's just to make sure that this is... Kyle has a tendency of visiting us when we're here. There you go. And, isn't it funny that Kyle Lowry looks like what Jimmy Butler is supposed to dump into? Not his shorts, but you know what I'm saying? Waist. So and isn't it interesting? A man who shoots waste out of his ass wasted a lot of money for the Miami Heat by bringing in Kyle Lowry, his friend. A waste. Tell you, years ago, Waste Management was owned by Wayne Huizenga. Now it seems like the Miami Heat have bothered with some waste here lately. Good thing is they didn't have that hazardous situation happen to them with Jimmy Butler. So, but there you go. It was nice of Kyle Lowry to make an appearance here on the show. I like it when he comes by. Big Johnson is in. He says, big plans for the lady tonight. Yes, definitely. NorCal is in the house. Juan Rosa. Let's see. No discounts on Papa John's after another Heat loss. I'm starting to look in much better shape. Dave Fields. Tyreek has a tall woman fetish. Yep. Yes, he does. Thick woman, tall woman. That's one of those interesting dynamics. When you see a woman like that, it's like not normal, but yet still intriguing. And then you're like, okay. And so, he wanted to climb Mount Everest, and he did. Horn Dog is in the house. We up all night to get lucky. Yeah, I like it. Yes. Jamie Azoria in the house. I hope everybody is having a great weekend. Remember to smash the like button. He reminds everybody. And fins up, everyone. One day. Cosa Nostra. Let's waste more time talking about a quitter, menace, and malcontent. Hey, leave Jimmy Butler alone, okay? Should Pat tell Spo to fix the player rotation? To what? To what, dude? To what? What are you listening to? Some Heat-centric site that has nothing to do but talk Heat? Here, let me break it down for you. They have no stars, which they haven't had. They've only had one star on the team for the last 5-6 years. And the guy didn't want to play during the regular season, the last 2.5 regular seasons. So I'm not exactly sure what rotation. What are you expecting, dude? Expecting Tyler to be a star or something? What was it last night? 15 of 30 to score 40. 3 of 14 from three-point range. I'm not sure. What rotation? What do you think changes? What do you think this team is? Is this what they are? They got a great coach. By the way, he's better than Pat Riley. Should Pat tell Spo about player rotation? Pat only knew one way to coach, dude. He never adjusted. He never adjusted so badly that he shoved Whiteside down Spo's throat. You know, Frampton Hendricks, it shows that people like you don't understand sports or basketball. It's interesting, bro, because times change, people don't. And Riley he still is screwing up on how not to build a basketball team. Should Pat tell Spo to fix player rotation? The guy that lived with one offense the entire time. He should talk to the guy that has adjusted to the most offenses, to blood clots and no blood clots, to players in and out and everything, and different scrubs that you throw at them one year. couple years, actually, because you stuck him with Dion and all those guys. Should Pat tell Spo? Holy shit. Like, some of you haven't even realized that Spo is a much better X's and O's coach than Pat? Frampton Hendricks? Like, I didn't think I had a lot of things to talk about today. But, you know, you guys there's always some of you that will add some sauce and get me going. Because there's, I love looking at stuff like this. Because it just shows that there's a lot of you that sit there and watch and you don't learn a goddamn thing. It's really amazing, dude. You watch the basketball game, you watch what's going on, and you don't learn a goddamn thing that's going on. Spo carries Riley. He hides Riley's mistakes. He hides the front office mistakes. He makes it better than what it really is every year. Should Riley tell Spo how to fix the rotation? That's funny, dude. That's hilarious. And so typical of fans. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to say, because I was talking to one of the salesmen that was here too, and he was talking the same thing about the rotations. But then when you look at where the trade happened, not that even if we have no stars and all that, Tyler's been out 2 games. Bam's missed a game. Wiggins been out a game. Rozier's been out 2 games. When you look,
and they have no practice time, no chemistry.
When have you had a chance to even try to figure out
nothing? I mean, what is this team? I mean, give me a break, dude. They've been in flux the entire year. They've got a virus going on. They're young. They don't know how to win. They don't have any stars. Fix the rotation. Clase come mierdería. Yeah. As Abba Tejeda would say, yeah. Quantum vortex. Pat can't even do his own job correct. Wow, this guy came up behind him with, like, logic. Thank you, Quantum Vortex. Juan Rosa, Big O. Hope you're okay. Seems to me you're under the weather. Wish your health is, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Great Crypto Bro show last night. I wasn't able to watch live, but got it this morning. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Stephen Harris, Christian. Ray, hey, I'm so over this Tyreek antics, everything. Yeah, it's I'll get to Tyreek stupidity. Ray Varnicus is in. Skylar Tipton. Let's see. Told my wife I'm spending my money and buying her crypto today. She's cool with that. There you go. Because that way you get her a bigger present down the line. Trip to Fiji. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Big O Kachuk brothers, 2 goals apiece and an assist for Matthew also. Good shit yesterday. Big O, since it's V-Day, I wonder who Tyreek is going to knock up today. Man, Tyreek has got a lot of gifts to spread. Well, he's done enough spreading of gifts. It's a miracle he's not spreading diseases, too, at the same time. It's tough being a South Florida sports fan at the moment. Thank God for the Panthers. Yeah, all our teams are not good right now. What are you going to do? My birthday is tomorrow, 47. Happy birthday, my brother. 47 is not 27, feeling old. Happy birthday, True Fin fan. I hope you have a great birthday, my man. Any thoughts on Canadian crowd at the Ball Center booing national anthem last? Well, no thoughts. Canada has to deal with the tariffs and all that stuff, and it's affecting them, and they're pissed off at Americans. Canadians are not vacationing in America. There is I watched this this story. There's a gentleman, unfortunately, his store is on the border, and his business is down 80% because he depends on tourists coming through the border to buy. And so now the traffic is down. And so Canadian tourists are not going to the United States, and they're not going through there and not buying. So he's had to lay off people, and he could be forced to close the store down the line if this continues. And this is what's happening. In Canada, they are specifically itemizing everything that is Canadian product, and they're buying Canadian products, and they're trying to stay away from American products. They're not going to vacation in America. They're trying to find places in Europe or Mexico to go vacation. Canadians are pissed off at Trump. They're not necessarily pissed off at Americans. And if you noticed, I don't know if you know about this, some of the stuff that Canada is going after in the U.S. and putting tariffs on, it's in red states to hold it against Trump. Okay? So this is, all is fair in love and war, as the Fix would say. So if you don't know what's going on behind those boos, Canadians are pissed off, okay? Because this is going to cost them. So if the Heat got a good center that can score 30 points tonight and put Bam at power forward, they'd win more games. Well, Edward, they have a good center, a young center. I like this kid. Last night, efficiency, 8 of 14, 17 points and 9 rebounds for a rookie. I like this kid. You know what I'm saying? Now, they need a couple of stars. They have no stars. Now, this kid's a baby. He's a rookie, so I can't put him in the star category, but they need stars. I'm with you, but it's just not easy. They don't grow on trees. It's really difficult. Stephen Harris says, blind ass fan alert for Frampton Hendricks. Yeah, no, it's not just that, dude. It's a really Frampton Hendricks has zero clue what he's watching. He doesn't understand jack shit. It's very, he got it off some talk show host that's lazy or some Heat-centric site or whatever that they got nothing to talk about, so they got to create something. But Spo is the last thing that is an issue in that franchise. Okay? Personnel's much bigger issue than Spo. Any day of the weekend, twice on Sundays. Miami Dolphin 305. Thank you for the love on the super chat. 40 points on 15 of 30 shooting is great work. Stop it. You know it's great work? I think I wrote it the other night. Where's it at? Matt Cleveland, UM, scored 32 points against Syracuse the other night. You saw that? Did you see his shooting? 10 of 13. 2 of 4 from three-point range. He scored 32 points on 13 shots. That means the other times he was at the line with the clock stopped. Efficiency. So, yeah, 15 of 30. Yeah, it's good, you know, but 3 of 14 from three-point range, you know, it's volume shooting. So I get it. It looks but if you're a star, you do it in a more efficient fashion with less shots, less misses, less fast breaks for the other team. Again, understand what you're talking about. Learn the game. There's a little bit more to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right. But thank you for the super chat. We'll disagree on that one. Decent. I'm not going to get impressed by it. Go look at the big three numbers back in the day. They would kill themselves on efficiency. They would try to, have very few missed shots, and there's a way of playing the game where it becomes much more productive. Let's see what else. Chase One is in the house. Thank you, sir. Yes, but the Heat organization respects Riley for what he did in the past, coaching the Heat and the Lakers. That's why he's earned the name the Godfather, and the Knicks. Yes, and I have no, dude, I'm not changing Riley. I'm not telling him to get fired or leave or whatever. I'm just telling you, he hasn't been very good lately. So, and when it comes to rotations and lineups and all that shit, Spo is way ahead of him already on that. Again, for what's the guy's name? Viking something, whatever. Frampton Hendricks. For Frampton Hendricks out there, let me repeat this again for you. The greatest coach in Miami Heat history. Okay? The greatest coach in Miami Heat history is Eric Spoelstra. Not team builder, not culture, franchise changer, all that. That's Riley. Motivator, Riley. The greatest X's and O's coach in Miami Heat history is Eric Spoelstra. And that's not even up for debate. Nothing whatsoever. It's not even a discussion anymore. Eric Spoelstra has proven that he does it in so many different ways with all kinds of different players and all kinds of different offenses that he proved that he is way better at X's and O's than Pat Riley. Pat Riley is the second best coach in his own organization. That's the reality. A lot of people won't say it because they're afraid and all that, but I don't give a shit. I love Pat Riley and I love Eric Spoelstra, love the Harrison family, but I'll call it like I see it. They've done a phenomenal job. Do they have their faults? Yeah. But we got to call it like we see it, bro. Spo's the best. It's not even close. Not even close. Let's see. Big O, those roller skates are classics. Yes, they are, sir. My Rydell classics are classics. I want to use them again. Maybe tomorrow or Sunday. I'll go over to the roller rink again and skate around and get some exercise. That felt good, man. It felt good exercise and it felt good for my foot. Really, that was the one because I was feeling soreness after, the second hour of skating, but the next day I had nothing. And so that really showed that my surgery has healed, because in prior exercises, as I've told you, in months prior, and when I would exercise, I would have pain and discomfort for several days after, and it was just like uncomfortable. It was hard for me to walk after. It would be getting in my way. Now it's like nothing. So it looks like all I'm doing now is breaking down all that cartilage inside my foot from some of the stiffness, I would imagine, and the surgery and all that. So that's what I got to live with right now. What else do we have? Trudeau ruins Canada and Trump gets blamed. No, that's that's a weak Trumpy take on your part. You know, you're acting like a butthurt Trumpy. They're reacting to what's been done to them. That's all. Has nothing to do. They're already getting rid of Trudeau. I don't know if you know that. So, you know, and that has nothing to do one with the other, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, LB, again, like the other guy doesn't watch basketball, you don't know shit about politics. You know, that's all I can tell you, LB. You don't know jack shit about politics. Instead, you use your little emotions because you're a little butthurt or something. So that's how you spin it. That shit don't fly here, bro. That shit don't fly here. I'm going to expose your ass right away for that. So your little butthurt self, I don't know, bro. Go get something, rub it, go relax over the weekend. Let's go to David Furones. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football and our Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report. LB butthurt.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheum Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All righty, let's get to it. How you feeling, man? You feeling good?
Feeling good. I'm still buzzing from yesterday. I rode in an F1 race car, a McLaren, taking a hot lap for the media day that they had for local media, going 155 and then braking into 30 miles per hour into a sharp turn. It's pretty thrilling.
I never did that, but I did do 147 once.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, but I was driving.
Okay, you were driving.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the waiver you need for that?
What?
What's in the waiver that you got to sign for that one?
you and if I tell you where I did it, it'll freak you out too. Okay. You ever heard of Card Sound Road?
Oh, okay.
So
you weren't taking a hot lap. You were taking
wham. And so there's a straightaway when you come off of US 1 and you get right onto Card Sound Road. You've got a really nice straightaway for quite a bit before you have to make the turn into the little town and all that, right? So you've got a couple miles. And so I knew it, right? So as I didn't see any cars, I had a vet in those days. And this was like 1987, I want to say something like that. Yeah, this is a long time ago.
This is young.
I came turning right into Card Sound Road, probably doing somewhere around 80, 85, and then I punched it, and I hit 147, and then I came right back down right away. But I hit 147 on Card Sound Road a long time ago, man.
So I'm glad you're still with us after that.
Yes, I am glad too. It's stupid things you do when you're a kid, but what are you gonna do? You're 21 years old with a brand new vet. You know, what are you gonna do, bro? You know, 21-year-old, you're an idiot, and I was an idiot, but I'm here to tell the tale at least. So yeah, I was able to do it myself, but I never got into a race car, and I didn't have to do any curves. I knew there were no curves. I knew I had a straightaway because I used to take that. I used to take that road all the time because I used to go to well, I can say it now. What the hell? Illegal cockfights.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a ring that was after you went through the toll in Card Sound, you went over the bridge, you went down, and then you made a right to go to Key Largo. Well, in that stretch, halfway through, you'll see a little driveway on the right side, like a little dirt road. If you go, it's still there, the dirt road. Now I don't know what's inside anymore, and there's like a gate like a swinging gate that closes it. But that road, if you knew, you would take that dirt road in, and then when you ended up in this whole thing, and they had this whole elaborate thing, 3 different rows, and the roosters would fight and all that kind of stuff, and
and all the crazy Cubans were betting a lot of money and going crazy. And so, so I would go there every once in a while to see that stuff because my dad was, rest in peace. He was huge into that stuff. My dad used to take roosters to Puerto Rico to fight.
Wow. This is wild.
Yeah. And in Puerto Rico, they go all out. They bring them down in glass cages. Boom, and then the doors open automatically and the roosters come out and start, and the cockfight starts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they treat it like it's a heavyweight fight and stuff like that. So anyway, so the F1 race. So were you like nervous at all, or were you confident because you had a pro driving?
Yeah, confident because I had a pro driving. I was told, I was given advice beforehand not to eat too much before I do it that day. So, and then I did start to worry a little bit when I saw some of the reactions from some others that participated. Like one person was throwing up, one person was not looking too hot. Seemed like they were a little dizzy out of it.
You want to rat anybody out that we know, or come on?
No. Well, one person you probably do know, but we'll leave that out.
Come on, who is it? Who was the wuss?
No, I'm not going to do it to this person.
Daniel Rayo made me barf in a stunt plane. So, I mean, he had me dry heaving all over the damn place. So, I felt queasy. I felt very Joe Philbin in the plane. I admit I couldn't handle a stunt plane. So, it can happen.
Yeah. Another person who handled it great, who you know very well, he was sweating profusely, and he loved it all, but he was soaked coming out of there from just like being in there a couple of minutes. He was really sweating it out. So when I saw some of the reactions,
who was the Safadine?
That was Safed, yeah.
Yeah, well, I once you said sweating, I knew it was Safed because he's always walking around. He's the only one that goes to camp with a towel.
Yeah, well, Perk too. Perk sweats a lot too.
Yeah. But Safed, although Perk has a very famous sweat scene on Channel 7.
I could see this, yeah.
I ask Perk about it, okay? I think I still have the pictures of it because we were making fun of it the next day on the show. In fact, I still have the audio of Shapiro calling him Prick, not Perk.
I've heard this, yeah.
Yes. All right, Perk.
Easy mistake to make.
You see, we've made a segment that really there's not a lot of Dolphin news. We've made it somewhat entertaining for you. You know what I mean? So,
it involves Dolphins beat writers.
Insight on life and media and all kinds of things going on. But when I get next week when I'm in studio, you guys need to remind me, and I'll play the audio of Shapiro interviewing Perkins and calling him Prick. I have it. I have the audio. I guarantee. And if you remind me next Tuesday when you're on, I'm in studio, I'll play it. Okay.
Wasn't it something like the Great Prick? Wasn't he called?
No. He was all right. Perk. It was just like that. It was like a segue. Like, all right, Perk. Let's go. It's like it was freaking hilarious. I think I played it on QAM like a whole bunch, except I had to beep it on QAM. Now that I remember,
it loses
part. I had to actually beep it and then kind of play it off. It's so boring on.
Once you beep it, it kind of loses its juice a little bit.
Yeah, but there'll be no beeping on Tuesday if you request. There'll be no beeping.
I'm surprised I've never made that same mistake because he gives me enough reason as my colleague to call him a prick all the time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. I like. Okay, so you can't give up who was barfing all over the place.
No, and I didn't even get a good look at who it was. I just saw there was someone with like people in between me barfing into a garbage bag.
So I'm willing to say that I ate a hot dog in the Panhandle and made me look like the Exorcist. I actually had an event at Dolphins training camp this year in the heat. And then also Daniel Rayums tortured my ass on a stunt plane, and I was barf. So I talk about, my shortcomings. Come on.
Okay, yeah. Well, if it was me myself, then I'd just admit it, but I don't want to throw anyone else under the bus.
Damn it, bro.
Yeah. And then the funny thing about the one who was a little bit dizzy, I didn't see barfing, but it's like I go and ask how they're doing, and then didn't really want to talk, but just like, go ahead and they let me know. All right, yeah, just not feeling so well. Safid comes right over and then also sees this person and is also asking. And this person's like, you can see the look on their face, like, I just had to answer. Like, I don't want to fucking have to explain this to every single person. They just needed some time alone. So it was like everyone checking up on them.
Hold on. That sounds like Poop Art.
Poop wasn't even there. But that's the last time I'm even going to let you start narrowing it down even more.
Okay, I'm trying to figure it out, because when you snap like that, I'm thinking, okay, maybe Poop Art's the one that would snap at you like that.
No, didn't snap. It was just the look on their face was just like, I don't want to have to answer again. Like,
okay, so then not Poop Art.
Yeah, they didn't have the energy to snap, actually. They was just sapped of energy, just did not want to talk.
Okay. All right. Good shit, man. Good shit. All right, so what do you think about this silliness with Tyreek and Noah Lyles in July?
Not ideal. Well, if you're looking at it from a Dolphins fan's perspective, like this is where your focus is at, and then God forbid there's injury risk if you go out there and do this. I mean, granted, it is several months away from training camp. We don't have a date yet, but you would figure if it's in the spring, if it's early summer, it would have to be early summer because Noah Lyles competes in July for some championships. So, you would hope it's just with enough time before training camp where if something did happen, he could recover if there's any soft tissue issue. It's also, I mean, at most they'll run a 100. And I mean, you think he could just survive running 100 meters and not get hurt, especially with how much he runs professionally in his sport and avoids injury. But you do have to worry about those cramps he's always had. But yeah, not where you want his focus to be.
Teacher, I have a question, teacher.
Yes, Big O, please.
Is it allowed in his contract, teacher?
Okay. No, that's another thing. I wonder what's in there. What's in the minutia?
Teacher, I have another question. If he gets injured and it violates his contract, will the Miami Dolphins get relief? Salary relief? Could they void his contract, teacher? Do you know? Because I keep wondering about all of this because it sounds really cute, just like him saying, I'm out of here. And it's like, yo, dude, you're not out of there because those people are trying to save their jobs. They can't just cut you or trade you, bro, because the cap hit would cripple them. So you're all stuck with each other, whether you like it or not. So I know Tyreek has really and a lot of other people have a they don't really have a touch of reality. So I'm wondering, is this allowed in his contract? And if he's injured, can the Dolphins protect themselves from all of this? Because you started the interview with a very key point. This is where your mind is at. Like you're coming off a disappointing year, disappointing offseason, all this shit. And this is what you're thinking about, this kind of bullshit, instead of focusing on having a great season. And you could injure yourself before this. And you and I know, dude, if he does pull a hammy, that shit could linger all year.
Yeah. You would like to see, especially after he was so adamant about the way the season ended, to the point where he indicated he wanted out, that he would keep that same passion, although without the unreasonable request in the moment of just wanting to go somewhere else. But you would hope he just maintains that passion toward having the offseason that he needs to then put it together for next training camp and come back better. But now you see we're just a month away and from all that, and then he's already scheduling just other bullshit that he's working on and going at Noah Lyles back and forth. The contract questions, those are good ones. I do not know all the minutia there and would be a good question for Drew Rosenhaus if he's willing to reveal any of those details before anything were to potentially come up.
Can't you get a hold of the contract from the NFLPA? Don't you have access to that?
I'm not sure.
Should.
Has that been a thing historically?
Well, if you know an agent that can get it for you, because all the agents can get it. That's the trick that we use if we want to find out something.
As far as another agent to.
Yeah, you get another agent. They'll pull out the contract because it's all there in the NFLPA. Agents get to see everybody else's contracts because this way they see how contracts are structured, their competition, and then they can get ideas on how to then restructure their contracts for their future clients if somebody's doing something better than they are, or they did something new or something like that. They can see what different people have designed inside the contract. So that's just like a normal trick that you get an agent. Now you got to know the agent well, and he's got to be, and he's got to do it for you on the side. But yeah, you can do that, doggy. So if you have an agent that's a good friend, if I feel like doing it, I can go do it right now if I want to. I got several agents I can call that'll get that contract for me because. Hey,
okay, let's both get on that.
Let me give you another tip from my years of doing all this.
Sure.
There's a lot of agents that will be more than willing to pull a contract from a Drew Rosenhaus client.
I bet.
Okay. I can just tell you that. So, that'll be a fun thing that Dolphins may want to find out if it's, because the second that came up yesterday, I said right away, I go, wow, I don't feel like going through the work, but if you want to find out, that'll be interesting. If they covered their asses on that. So,
good tip there.
Yes. Well, I've been around the block a couple of times. I may know a thing.
I'm only entering year 4 on the beat. I completed season 4. I'm in like a fourth year of a whole calendar go round.
I'm in year 35, where for me it's like everything repeats. It just has different names and faces on it, and most of the scenarios I've seen, and it's just kind of like it's just I could just like refer to something else and say, okay, yeah, I saw this happen before. Unfortunately. All right. So what else do we have going on? What'd you think of Bobby Slowick?
That's right, Bobby Slowick. Great hire. I've liked the guy. Obviously, he was a hot name as far as rising up into potential head coaching ranks after he had just gotten the OC job with the Texans. Last year's season left something to be desired with the way the Texans offense and CJ Stroud didn't take another step. CJ Stroud having sort of a little bit of a sophomore slump, but I think having that extra mind in there of his caliber, and especially already having the connection with his brother Ryan Slowick in there, the connections that they have with Mike McDaniel going back a ways, the whole Slowick family. And I think that'll help with a lot of maybe some of the game planning bumps in the road that these offensive coaches hit with how they couldn't find answers for the way defenses played Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and stopped the deep passes and played those two high shells and basically had both of those guys double covered. And yeah, it opened up a lot for Jonnu Smith and Devon Achane out of the backfield, but still the passing game overall, without being able to get the ball so consistently to those receivers, it took a major step back. So I think just having his mind in there will help a lot in being able to game plan and find ways to still take what the defense gives you, but then also be able to dictate some like, okay, we want to do what we do and what we do best and still find ways to do it against certain defenses.
The only thing I saw it as is a friend hiring a friend, to be quite honest, because
there is that, yeah.
Passing is not really the major problem. His problem is what you need to add a bigger receiver to the lineup and try to implement him in there, which is something he's had problems with. That's one. But your bigger problem is that, Mike, you were a run coordinator. That's your problem. You don't run enough. You're not dedicated enough to the run. and it's really, you're adding another guy for passing. I don't know. I wouldn't call passing his weakness. I would call running his weakness, lack of dedication, and maybe also lack of, let's say, importance on the guard positions, because he feels it's a very transitory position. He feels like he can, the staff feels like they could just, bring anybody and teach him guard, and that's a little crazy.
Yeah, so hopefully they operate also aware of all these things too, because yes, all those points you made are right on the button, and so Mike needs to take from his run game coordinator past and implement some of those things, which were also up and down. All those years in San Francisco, he would have a great season running the football, and then it'd come back down. And then sort of the last couple of years have played out the same way, where on a yards per carry standpoint, 2023 was great. 2024, they come right back down. His play calling needs to improve in the run game aspect, and then the rest of it is personnel. Things you mentioned, getting a big wide receiver. That part of it will come in March. So hopefully also with Slowick's voice in there, if that can help in making these personnel decisions for who they need to bring in once free agency hits, draft preparation and analysis, scouting these prospects, who this team needs to bring in. Now, he wouldn't be involved maybe so much in a guard, but a bigger wide receiver. I would also hope Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer add a physical running back to the mix. Then, they need to operate this offseason aware of all those things as well. But I wouldn't see it as any kind of negative to bring in a guy who was just an offensive coordinator. He's going to be eager to get back into those ranks and probably bring his best as pass game coordinator.
All right, so let me ask you, finally, we'll wrap it up with this. And I talked about this the other day. In general, all of us pretty much agreed, okay, Christian Wilkins, we get it. You didn't pay him the $27 million because he's, maybe not a pass rusher. There were some people that thought they should have paid him and should have kept him, whatever. The other one was, hey, Rob Hunt, man, $20 million, too much for a guard, right? That was kind of our whole thing, correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
We're all wrong. We're all wrong. In hindsight, which is always 20/20, I'm wrong. I got that one wrong. They should have paid Rob Hunt. You don't really draft a ton of linemen. And you hit on Jackson, you hit on Hunt, but you missed on Eichenberg. So you hit on two of the three, which is great, actually. But the $20 million, well, Trey Smith from Kansas City, like the most reliable lineman they have, is young, and he's going to be a free agent now. He's set to make $20 million in free agency. Easy.
Oh, that's the market now.
That's the market. Exactly. So I talked about this. We complained when Goran Dragic got his contract. Oh, my God, they're paying him that much. And then 2 years later, when they saw how well he was playing in the market, oh, yeah, that contract's a bargain now. Duncan Robinson, oh, my God, what are you paying him? And then he's draining threes. Oh, it's a very manageable contract. It's actually okay. And Tyler Hero now. Now Tyler Hero has actually got a manageable contract. Now, the bigger contract coming down the line, that might be crazy to sign, but still, So my point is that everything that you think is too expensive at that moment, it really is not in general. In most cases, there's going to be, the outliers, the dude in Cleveland, the massage guy, what's his name? You paid him a whole guaranteed contract. That's crazy. You know what I mean? That those are the outliers. But okay, so and then let me add insult to injury about how all of us got this shit wrong with Rob Hunt. Okay, so you mean to tell me you're not going to pay Rob Hunt when you didn't know at that moment, but you solved your problem at center for 3 years at $7 million per. You got a rookie left tackle starting in 25 that you're not paying shit for 5 years. Your right tackle, you got cheap. So all you got to do is pay your right guard. You add all of that to the mix. you're not really spending big money on the line. You could have afforded to spend, you should afford to spend on Hunt, because you're stealing money with Austin Jackson at $12 million. You're stealing money with Brewer at $7 million. And if Patrick Paul's good, you've got him for 5 years under rookie deal. So hindsight is 2020. This is shit that we didn't figure out, and I made the mistake too. But if we start to look at the picture from 35,000 feet, and we look at the overall picture, we got to go, wow, that was a big screw up. Because this offseason, you'd only be looking for a left guard. So think about that. That whole thing that no, you can't pay $20 million a guard. Guess what? We're a bunch of idiots. You should have paid that guard, because the guy didn't have one penalty all year, didn't have a holding penalty all year, and didn't miss a down all year. So, I mean, yeah.
We know he's an Iron Man from his time playing here. Only his last season had a little bit of a hamstring issue pop up and aggravated it. But I mean, still, he rarely missed any time. And then good to see him bounce back from that one ailment. So been an Iron Man, obviously a tremendous blocker. Now at the time he hadn't yet been a Pro Bowl guard, so he didn't make his first Pro Bowl as a replacement. So that was good to see for Rob Hunt. But here's where I could fault the organization is if they would have just extended him earlier. You could probably say the same thing about Christian Wilkins. Extend him earlier so that it didn't reach the point where it was his free agency and it was all that you had to pay. Now I know Christian Wilkins, he also bet on himself. So that's why he turned down what the offer was at that point. And then it was yesterday's price is not today's price for him. And same thing sort of developed clearly with Rob Hunt. But if you could have gotten to it sooner, then that would have been great. But still, at $20 million, it's so tough, and it's not like the Carolina.
But in hindsight, you should have done it. You should have done it.
I wish once it got to that point. Okay, say $20 million, we'll pass on that. But they should have addressed it with at least some kind of mid-level guard and free agency. The way they found an Aaron Brewer at center, if you could find a similar deal, that would have been ideal, because then you're going into the next season with two guys who literally lost previous starting competition to, and this is when you already had Rob Hunt as a solidified right guard starter. It was they lost to Isaiah Wynn for that left guard spot that was up in the air. They were both runner-ups and they were backups on the previous year's team that then had to get thrust into action because Isaiah Wynn went down and Connor Williams had an injury, and you had all this shuffling on the offensive line. Rob Hunt also himself had an injury. So they got thrust into all these starts as reserves, and then you're counting on them to be your surefire starters going into the next season when Isaiah Wynn still isn't ready to come back for the start of the year, and that's what you were betting on. So if they could have found some kind of mid-level, reasonable, economical choice at guard, I think that would have been a happy medium where it's not you're starting two backups as starters, and you could have had maybe it doesn't work out as well as Aaron Brewer, but just you get something decent out of one of the guards at least last season, even though you let Rob Hunt walk.
I'm with you there. All right, good shit. And you can follow him on Twitter at @DavidFurones_. And I would imagine you're going to follow up on that and try to find out that scoop on Tyreek, right? Don't make me do it, bro. I don't want to do my old job, bro.
Okay, yeah. Let me see if any agents I know are game.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be interesting to see if you can find that one out.
Yeah.
That would be one that I think Dolphin fans would be very intrigued. All right, what else are you working on over the weekend so folks can check you out?
Yeah, actually, I interviewed Rob Jones over the phone recently to get his thoughts on his free agency here going in. So I'll put that out early next week, and also next week I'll plan on checking out some draft prospects. Working with Pete Bomarito, who is legendary when it comes to training draft prospects for the combine for all the speed and agility drills. So a lot of guys go to his place over in the Aventura area, and train ahead of the combine every year. So going to check out some guys and see who some of the guys who are training locally who might interest the Dolphins once it comes to combine and draft time.
All right, good shit. All right, my brother, have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday, my friend. You be good out there.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. All right, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. That's right. The Daniel Rayom that put me on a stunt plane and had me dry heaving into a barf bag. Yep, that's him. If he's a stunt pilot, what do you think he does in the courtroom? He kicks some ass, bro. He doesn't flinch. Jeff Welt, the same way. That's why you want to hire Welton Rayom. And by the way, with the new laws, it favors the insurance companies, not us. So if you're unfortunately dealing with bankruptcy or homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, call my guys, Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646. Consultations completely free, and these are the guys that you can trust because you need to win this case. You are hurting. The insurance company isn't living up to their responsibilities, and it happens all the time. They're great at collecting your premium, but then when they've got to come through, there's always some problem, right? That's why you need the right people fighting for you. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom will get it done. 954-966-4646. Manny Navarro starts hour number 2.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling great, Been on vacation all week, so I've been able to play some pickleball, hang out, do soccer, be with the family. It's been a good week off here at home.
There you go. I'm doing a little pickleball too, by the way. And I actually went skating 2 nights ago, roller skating for a couple of hours. So it was good. My foot has responded well from the surgery. Finally, bro. For months, I would try to exercise and I'd have like pain in my foot for days, dude. Mm-hmm. And so now I don't have any pain the next day at all. You know, there's a little soreness while I'm doing whatever it is, but that's just like I'm breaking my foot back in again and cartilage and all that bullshit. But the next day, no pain, no discomfort. And so now I'm like, it felt good, bro. And I was in a boot for a while, you know, in skating, you're in a boot for a couple of hours. So I was wondering, okay, would it torture it? Because I have a plate inside there, you know, and it was kosher, bro. So now I can actually exercise, which is really cool, man.
Good to hear. Man.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Canes making some changes. We've been talking about the coaching staff. So they add Will Harris the Gators coach. Talk to us about that one.
Yeah, good pickup because you take somebody away from a rival, somebody that you're playing next season, right? So he's been in that system, obviously, over there at Florida for the past year. Good recruiter, got some really good DBs to come out of South Florida. Most recently, Ben Hanks Jr., who was one of the top 100 recruits in the country this past season. So you hit your rivals hard with that one, and he's a guy who's been around the block. He spent a season in the NFL with the Chargers. Before that, he was a defensive coordinator at Georgia Southern, so he's got experience calling plays. University of Washington before that for 5 seasons, so he's recruited on the West Coast. He's been all over the place in terms of his career and well-traveled, but that's a good pickup for Miami and the 4th new defensive coach that they've added to the staff, and now they're done. They've got basically everything complete unless somebody else decides to leave to go elsewhere. They've basically got their defensive staff intact under their new defensive coordinator, Corey Heatherman.
Okay. All right. I like that. And they've got some new DBs in there too. So, right?
Yeah, a lot of the roster is basically reshaped in the secondary. I think that's, you look at the transfer portal and what is in here now. You've got Charles Brantley from Michigan State, who's kind of the elder statesman, the guy who's got the most career starts, 24 career starts, over 1,400 snaps. He's probably gonna slide into that one of the safety slots just because he's one of the most experienced guys that they have. And then you've got some really good, second and third year guys that were starters the last couple seasons. Ethan O'Connor, kid from Washington State who comes over. You got Zechariah Poyser, from Jacksonville State, who was all conference, safety. Emmanuel Carnley from Arizona. And then the big one for Miami was Xavier Lucas, who they plucked away from Wisconsin. He's only a second year guy. 1 career start, but he's a guy that from a talent perspective, you look at and you say, man, that might be the best overall talent that they have at the cornerback position. So a lot of work done there. You got OJ Frederick coming back, who was a starter, freshman. I think we're in all conference honors as a freshman. So a guy that you can build around for the next couple of years. But he's taking over a talented young secondary with the new defensive coordinator. So a lot, in terms of when spring football starts on March 4th, a lot of interesting storylines to follow.
All right. So let me ask you the other one that I think is, I don't know about interesting, but a little intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
So Nickel is there and he's going to be backing up the Georgia guy.
Right.
Okay? So during the season, if you happen to be blowing somebody out, will they play Luke a little bit to get, or do they not want to risk that, maybe they can still redshirt him or something? Or has he already been redshirted? Has he already, did they already do that?
Luke Nichols coming in as a true freshman. So remember,
so that's right.
You can play up to 5 games, including the bowl game. The bowl game has to be that 5th game. So yes, I could totally see a scenario where they're playing people who aren't very good and they're winning big, and he's in there in the 4th quarter getting some work. So yes,
okay, so it's not one of those things that they're going to do it right away and he's redshirted, he's not going to play. He could play and still get redshirted along the way, midway through the season or whatever, if he's played, like you said, those 5 games or whatever, or the 4 games, and then they redshirt him. So there is a chance that we could see Luke at least coming in to fill in a little bit then.
Yeah, there's no question. And look, Miami's got a tough schedule. Obviously, they open with Notre Dame, and they've got Florida at home, and you got there's not a bunch of cupcakes on the 2025 Miami Hurricane schedule, but certainly you could find 4 games where you should be able to slide him in there and get him some work. So I think without question, you can still achieve the big goal, which is get him some playing time. Bethune-Cookman, you can play him. USF at home, you could probably play them. I'm looking at the schedule here now as I got it in front of me. Those are 2 games right off the bat. Maybe Stanford probably not going to be very good, so you're probably going to blow that team out. But the rest of them, if you get them in 3 games and you let them play significant snaps, that's what you want. You want them to get a taste of it, and then you give them that bowl game. If you don't make the playoff, if you don't get to where you want to go,
wait a minute, you can still redshirt them after the bowl game.
You could still redshirt them. The 5th game that you're allowed to play is the bowl game. If you play 5 regular season games, you blow the red shirt. The rule is 4 games.
So you can be the whole season as long as you don't play the amount of games and still get redshirt. Wow,
That's how things have evolved. Yes, before you could only play them in the first window, X amount of snaps, but now, yes, it's tricky. The rules have changed quite a bit in college sports, brother.
All right, but I still find it kind of cool that he's willing to, because some of these kids will want to play right away, so he's willing to sit. So that's pretty interesting that he's willing to do that. I mean, listen, it's not like you have a coach that's on the hot seat or anything like that, and the offense was pretty good last year. So
yeah, you're number 1 in the country, and you just got Carson Beck, and there's no pressure on you to come in and play right away, and have to be on the field. The only way you'd have to do that is if he gets hurt. So
yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right. Anything else you're expecting? Any other changes on the staff or anything else, or they're done now?
No, I think they're done. I think this is pretty much what they're going to settle into. It was this week they hired obviously some other people as well. Damian Lewis, the former you remember Damian Lewis,
D lineman, yeah,
the D lineman. They plucked him off of Colorado staff. He'll be working with Jason Taylor on the defensive line. Heatherman, the defensive coordinator, will be handling linebackers. That's what he coaches. And then you have Zach Etheridge, who comes over from Houston with Will Harris in the secondary. And so that's your new defensive staff. I think it's great for Jason Taylor to bring him back. This is going to be his 3rd year now, I think, with the program. So, he's in a position where who knows what he's going to want to do a year or 2 from now. But
I was going to ask you, is Damian Lewis like being groomed to replace Jason Taylor? That's kind of like
very, very well could be if Jason Taylor goes to the NFL or decides, part of the reason Jason took the Miami job, he's home quite a bit. I don't think he has to do a ton of recruiting except when guys are on campus. And so, the way college football is now, it's not the way it was 5 years ago in terms of the life of an assistant coach. There's analysts and other people around that can handle some of the job for you. And Jason's, got some young kids as well that he's just had here in the last couple of years. So that's part of the reason why he liked the Miami situation. He could be home. But we'll see, once his kids get a little bit older, how much further he wants to take this coaching thing and whether or not he wants to be a D coordinator, potentially a head coach down the road in college or the NFL.
Don't forget, folks, at Caneswear, you got to use our code BIG-O10. You will get 10% off there, off anything. And if you order online at caneswear.com, you order over $99, you will get free shipping too. And Jeff and the boys, they get it going right away. When you send in that order, they're working on it. You might get it the next day, 2 days after. I mean, it's amazing how fast they ship out there at caneswear.com. So make sure you check it out. They've got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it, but they've also got Inter Miami gear with the season right around the corner, Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, even Miami Marlins. So check it out there. Follow my guy Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And when we come back, we will have the Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Let's find out what's going on with the Big Cheese. A little mozzarella, a little pizza, a little garlic rolls. That's really the Big Cheese we're really talking about right now when we talk about the Big Cheese. No, but seriously, all right, let's get into recruiting. Always a hot topic year-round. The transfer portal, NIL, recruiting, everything's going on. What do we got going on right now?
Well, listen, I've been telling you the last couple of weeks when we do this segment how Miami's basically trying to line up visits, right, for June and May. That's the busiest time of the year, the most important time of the year, because that's when you get these guys on campus. And then shortly after, they decide, hey, I want to commit and be a part of the class. And what's happening now in college sports is while you still have flips, the guys that are the core members of the class, they basically decide a year in advance, right? You get your quarterback almost, 18 months ahead of time now. You get your big time offensive linemen and your big time defensive ends and cornerbacks and safeties. All those guys commit in May and June before their senior year. And pretty much you write it out with those guys and they help you recruit others. So right now, Miami's got over 30 guys lined up for official visits starting in the final weekend in May. And, when you start looking at this roster, and some of the positions that they need for the future, I always tell people, well, let's go back and look at who's going into year 3 on this Miami roster, right? What are the important positions on this team? Well, number 1, running back. Mark Fletcher, about to enter his 3rd season. He's a big-time guy for you. You got Jordan Lyle back there. I think running back is a huge position. I think you look at wide receiver, you're really, really young there. You need to continue to add. You never know who's going to get in the transfer portal and leave. Offensive line, Francis Maui-Noah is going to be taking off. He's your starting right tackle. You're losing Inez Cooper. So offensive line is a big priority in this class. And I think from a defensive perspective, you're in pretty good shape right now between secondary, linebacker, and defensive line. But you could certainly use some edge rushers. Ruben Bain is a junior, right? He could go pro after next season. That's a big-time guy to have to replace. So to me, when I look at the 2026 recruiting class and the cycle for Miami, I think edge rusher, I think offensive tackle, I think running back, and then tight end and wide receiver are still positions that I think they need to continue to upgrade. So when you look at the guys that are on this list as far as early visitors, big name targets to keep track of if you're a Miami fan. Number 1, I would say offensive line. I'm going to look through a list here as I'm sifting through it here. Big time guy from Miami, Brett College from Bradenton IMG Academy, 4-star recruit. A guy that I know Mario Cristobal and the staff really, really like and really, really want in this class. He'll be coming in the end of the beginning of June to visit. You got Lamar Brown, a kid out of a 5-star offensive tackle out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Miami's trying to get the number 1 recruit in the country for 2026 to come here. He still hasn't committed to a visit, but Lamar is right now just a huge, big body guy, 6'5", almost 300 pounds out of Louisiana. He's an important target for them. He'll be here the first weekend. You talk about running back, Derek Cooper, homegrown right here in South Florida, Hollywood Chaminade, 5-star running back, just a freak athlete, a guy who I personally think is very Sean Taylor-like to me when I watch him play. So he could be a safety or a running back, but I think he wants to play running back in college. So those are some early names for people to chew on, but you can check all of the names and information out. I don't do recruiting nearly as much as the 247s and the On3s, but you subscribe to any one of those services and you can see these lists, the complete list of all 30 guys that they've already got lined up. And so it's important. It's important to know who Miami is tracking from now up until those commitment dates in June and July, because these are the guys that they're after, and this is your future essentially.
No, I'm with you there. All right, so I'll wrap it up with this. Mario's heading into his 4th year. Mm-hmm. Normally by your 4th year, you should be pretty settled in with starters overall. And where are you with starters and depth, Manny? Because obviously you first want to instill your culture. You want to get the right starters, and then you've got to turn over those starters. But the other key thing is having quality depth. But you're fighting the whole NIL thing, and you got players that want to play and start and all that stuff, and people don't want to come to wait their turn and those kind of things, like the Luke Nichols of the world. Mm-hmm. So where when you assess this Miami roster, how are they percentage-wise when you look at their strength of starters and their strength of bench?
I think this team might be the deepest, most talented team that Mario's had yet. And I know you're going to look at me probably freaked out because Cam Ward just left, right? Xavier Restrepo just left.
Yeah, you added the Georgia kid and Luke Nickel, who's highly touted. So yeah, you lost Cam, but you actually have two really good quarterbacks, supposedly.
Yes, and that's my point, is that Mario is still building this thing. You know, when you start looking at it from a much bigger sort of
overall picture
perspective, right? From the top, you can see that they're deeper and more talented than they were last year. I think offensive line and defensive line depth has gotten so much better within what they've done the last two cycles, and ultimately, that's when I look at a team and I say, are they a contender? Can they dominate there? That's what I look at. And for me, last year, a lot of those defensive linemen that they got were freshmen, right? They were guys that just got in the door. Justin Scott just got here. Cole McConaughey just got here. Armando Blunt just got here. Booker Pick. These guys next year are going to be contributors. Some of them are going to be starters. And when they go into 2025, Miami has the chance to have one of the best defensive lines in the country. In terms, not 2025, but 2026. The offensive line this year, very, very good. But I look at it and I say, man, what is the next chapter when Inez Cooper and Francis Mauigoa are gone, right? Those are the questions I have, because Samson Okunlola hasn't played yet. He's going into his third year. He might take off via the portal. You got Tommy Kinsler going into his third year, hasn't really played yet. Derek Plaz, Susu Alafatul, those guys. So I look at it like Miami's had a really good offensive line the last 2 years or so, last 2 or 3 years, but that group is about to leave. Meanwhile, the defensive line is catching up. So it's going to be an interesting year for Mario. They've got to really hit on some big time recruits on the offensive line, which is why I brought up those 2026 targets, because I like the defensive line. I'm a little more concerned about the offensive line. And then, skill position wise, you've got a lot of young guys in there at the receiver position. You got a lot of young guys at tight end, but they got to prove themselves this year. I got to see them take the next step forward. So I like the overall direction of the program. I think he's doing it the right way. He's got a lot of depth. He's got guys that are bought in. They really haven't lost too many guys to the transfer portal the last few years. But this is a big year in terms of how they recruit and who they target in the transfer portal after this season is over on the offensive side of the football, so that when your young quarterback takes over next year, he's not sitting back there running for his life. Luke Nickel needs some guys to protect him. So I'm interested to see the development. And Alex Mirabal and Mario do a great job, obviously, developing guys. But I think that's what I want to see. When I go to spring football, I'm going to be in particular looking at Tommy Kinsler, Samson Okunlola, Derek Plaz, all the guys, the offensive linemen that have been here now for 2 years, eating, working out, doing all that. But I want to see, are they ready to take over when Francis Mauigoa and Cooper and those guys are all gone after next year?
All right. Follow him on Twitter, Manny_Navarro. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check it out?
Yeah. Right now, this week, I'm personally off, but The Athletic has tons of stuff that has been coming out. We've continued our off-season breakdowns, recruiting stories. They just had a big piece on Bill Belichick and what his first few months on the job have been like at North Carolina in terms of the way he's trying to build that program. North Carolina is still in the ACC, haven't left yet. So I think, you can check that story out.
You would have gotten Sam Amick's story on Pat Riley's.
Oh, yes, exactly. I'm not even thinking NBA. I'm thinking college football right now.
I'm just saying that. I just want to include that you're going to get, the subscription includes everything. So, Messi's now coming back, so you're going to get coverage there, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just Manny and the Canes and college football. You will get pro football, you'll get basketball, you'll get all kinds of stuff. They got all kinds of great writers there. So just in case, I want to throw it out there.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you helped me out and reminded me of the Sam Amick article, because the NBA team does great work, and I covered the NBA for several years, and those guys invite me back. I covered the NBA Finals when it was Miami and Denver a couple years ago, and I love working with the NBA guys.
Yeah, definitely. Who doesn't enjoy going to Denver a little bit and have a little fun there, man?
Yep.
All right. Follow him on Twitter, Manny_Navarro. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday, my friend. You be good.
You too, brother. Take care.
You got it. BigCheeseMiami.com. Gary, Billy, they've been doing it for over 40 years. And one of the things you're going to love about going to the Big Cheese, especially if you're a UM fan, it's like a little Hall of Fame. because the walls, man, they've got so much memories, so many different pictures and autograph pictures and magazine covers and posters and the memories of 40 years. So it'll blow you away, the stuff that you're going to see on the walls there. You could spend a couple of hours just checking out the walls at the Big Cheese because it is like a Hall of Fame. So go check it out. The lasagna, the baked ziti, the fried mozzarella, the sauteed chicken, the chicken francais. I could just go on and on. The pizza, the garlic rolls are to die for. And, of course, you can also order any party platters, too. So if you're having a party, a get-together, something like that for your business, your family, whatever, call the Big Cheese, 305-662-6855, and you can order. And, by the way, visit them, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, for great food and amazing service, BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
All righty. Don't forget, we are here at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. And right now, folks, customer appreciation sales event is going on. The ZDX, right now, you can get it for $449 a month and 0.9% financing for 72 months. This is the number one Acura dealership in the USA, baby. Come on out here. The Integra 2025 model, you can get it for $339 a month, 3.9% financing, and that's for 60 months. The RDX, my wife drives one, $399 a month. The 2025, 3.9% financing for 72 months. The MDX Tech, we can take $10,000 off the MSRP. And right now I'm looking at a fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles, and they're in amazing shape. So check it out right here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. And tell them that Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. And by the way, if you own or lease, Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber will take care of you there in the service center. Good people there. All right. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Let's see. What else do we have? Reek is going to get embarrassed at that race. I agree, Pat. Let's see if Furones can get the info. I don't feel like bothering my agent friends for that. I haven't done that in so long. That's what they'll mention to me. Well, why are you doing this now? You haven't done this in forever. And I'll go, well, because it's juicy. Come on. Help me out with the train wreck. And you have no idea how much they're willing to help you if it's a Drew Rosenhaus client. Oh, man. What it is to be young. All right. Let's see. Hill is a clown and going to get smoked by Noah. I would agree with that on both points. Are people forgetting that Tyreek said he didn't want to play for the Dolphins anymore? I guess we're just going to brush that under the carpet. He can say whatever he wants. Doesn't mean anything. He's stuck with them, and they're stuck with him. Morning O from Ocala Joe. Any special V-Day plans with the missus? I'm smashing it. And the button, too. There you go. I like it. I hope to be smashing at night, but I think we're going to go to a restaurant probably. It's probably what we're going to do. I got plans for a little restaurant action. Go a little earlier, too. That's the other thing. And it is a bonus, Mr. Edward Thurston Howell, to speak to Furones, always. Big Johnson says, got to get more physical, especially the O-line and receiving core. I agree. Hello to you, Aquavision. Akara says, Big O, I'm fat. I'm ordering the party platter from Big Cheese for myself. Do it. Do it. That's it. Go home and big. Not go big or go home. No. Go home and big. I'm with you. And by the way, get the lasagna. That's a good platter. Okay. And remember, you can get Alfredo sauce, pink sauce, tomato sauce, meat sauce. So you can mix it up with any sauce you want. So you can get saucy, Bernice. Been listening to Steve Young interview with Graham Bessinger. He was before my time, but my kind of athlete. Yes. He was old school. Yeah. And Walsh had to talk him into not being a knucklehead like Tua is. It's interesting. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar, why don't we? And the great Alan Blanco, your company, your corporation, school, you need custom printing, embroidery, shirts, hats, uniforms. Call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Mavs over the Heat, 118 and 113. Miami has lost 4 in a row. They're 5-11 in their last 16. Pretty bad. Ware, 17 points on 8 of 14 shooting, along with 9 points. 9 rebounds, that is. And Tyler Hero added 40 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. Tonight, they're in Toronto. Tip-off will be at 7:30. The Kachucks dominated last night as Matthew Kachuk of the Panthers scored 2 goals and an assist. And his brother, Brady Kachuk, added 2 goals as USA pounded Finland 6-1. Isn't Barkov on Finland? Thought so. Just saying. That's why you need a Kachucky Chuck. You need it. By the way, Saturday at 1 o'clock, Finland will take on Sweden. And Inga will be there from Sweden. She'll be watching. And then at 8 o'clock on Saturday, it'll be USA taking on Canada. So that's what's going on. What else do we have going on in the world of anything? No, tonight at Toronto, isn't it? That's what I thought I read tonight. I'm wrong? Oh, is Toronto the next game? Is just another date. I just assumed it was. Is the NBA schedule up for tonight? Oh, you gotta do this. Is it? No, there's no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. No, you're right. That game against Toronto won't be till. Yep, that's it. Friday. It is Friday, but it's next Friday.
That's right, because now they've given them the whole week off before with the All-Star break, right?
So next Friday.
Okay.
So there you
No,
go.
the only reason I said because one of my stories, TNA Grand Slam is this week in Australia, and they're recording it because it would be on. They're playing it after the All-Star game, which was the only reason I was like, wait a
Well,
minute,
that means
the
I
All-Star
won't be
break.
watching this weekend. I don't care about the
Future
All-Star.
Stars. No.
Nothing. They didn't put Ware in it, right? He's not in it, right? So I don't need to. I don't need to watch the Future Stars. Yeah, I'm not watching for Hawkeyes. I watched it last year for Hawkeyes. I'm watching this year for Ware, and they didn't put my guy Ware, so screw them. That's the way I roll. By the way, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which you know we love that. And PayPal also. You can use any of those QR codes. Or, of course, on Cash App or Venmo, it's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. By the way, good day so far for Caspa. Still pumping today. It was approaching, I believe it was approaching 11 cents, if I'm correct. Let me see where we're at right now. I'm going to pull it up now. We're almost nearly 7%, 10.6. So almost, not quite. Bitcoin is up just over 1%. Jasmine over 5. Solana almost 5. Hedera up almost 4. Chainlink up almost 6. Immutable X 3.5. Pendle up 8%. Love Pendle. Vanguard Chain has dropped like a rock, trying to make its way back up. Let's see. XRP, by the way, having a big day today. 11.5%. It's up to 272. So there you go. That's what's going on, baby. That's what be going on. All right. Oh, by the way, what happened to the market? Because it was barely up when I first got on. Now it's down 98 points. The Dow. The S&P is barely up over a point, and the NASDAQ is barely down. Almost nothing. Did you see the dunk by Ware? Yes, I did. It was awesome. The Heat tweeted it out and everything. I retweeted it. It was fantastic. Big O, if the Dolphins are dumb enough to sign Mariota, I'll be looking forward to your rip show with the Giants, bowl of popcorn in hand. Remember, the Dolphins have not said anything about Mariota. That's just media members throwing stuff out there and terrible suggestions. The Hawaiian thing, the West Coast thing, that kind of stuff. He's not accurate. Not the guy that I would get. So to me, it makes no sense to sign Marcus Mariota. And if they do that, then, he had no idea. You know what? Listen, he had no idea that Skylar Thompson couldn't play for 3 years. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, yeah. So, are you more broken up that Johnny Manziel and Josie Canseco broke up, or that Yi and Bianca Sensori broke up? Neither one? Okay. How about Pete Davidson now without tattoos?
Oh,
no. Did you see him? Like he took a picture of himself just in undies, and he was tatted everywhere. Not one tat. He took them all off, dude. That must have taken forever and a lot of pain. A lot of pain. Yeah, you can look it up. So, listen. Do you think what's this guy's the guy looks like a crackhead that's on the Hard Rock app thing? What's his name? Post Malone. You think Post Malone's going to look good when he's older? He doesn't look good now. And anybody that tells you that looks good, Jelly Roll or what? No, it does not. No. And as you get older, it's just going to look worse. So good job by Pete Davidson to take all that shit off before you get old, bro. Look, you got a tattoo or 2 or 3, one in the arm, whatever, something somewhere else or whatever. That's not a big deal. But when you're like all tatted up all over the place, that's not going to age well, dude. That's going to be terrible, dude. So nice job by Pete Davidson on that one, I got to say. And, of course, Bianca Sensori, that poor woman, getting divorced from that anti-Semite and Hitler, of course. I don't know if she'll ever be normal again because the things that he made her do, wow. That woman, I don't know. Is she working for a payday? Anyway, who was born on Valentine's Day? That's the question. Okay. So let's find out what people, famous people, and musicians and wrestlers were born on Valentine's Day. We start off with Rob Thomas. How about that? Matchbox 20, Santana, Smooth, 1972. Born on this date. Let's see who else. Kenny Hyslop, drummer, member of Silk. Also, by the way, joined Simple Minds as a member in 1982. We lost him in 2024 at the age of 73 to cancer. Let's see who else. Sylvain with the Velvet Underground and the Stooges, rock guitarist, born in 1951 on this date. Roger Fisher, known as one of the founding members of the band Heart with the Wilson sisters. His tenure lasted from 67 to 1980. Who else is celebrating a birthday today? Doug Simrell, guitarist, keyboardist with the Steve Miller Band, born in 1946. Dancer, actor, singer, choreographer, Gregory Hines, exceptional tap dancer, born on this date in 1946. We lost him in 2003 to liver cancer, stinking cancer, bro. Vic Briggs played with Eric Burden and the Animals from 66 to 68, born on this date in 45. Maceo Parker, American funk and soul jazz saxophonist, best known for his work with James Brown in the 60s, born in 1943 on this date. By the way, he also worked with De La Soul, Jane's Addiction, Dave Matthews Band, Prince and his band. You think Maceo Parker had a little talent? Let's see who else. That is it for musicians. Let's go with famous folk celebrating birthdays today. All right. Wow. A lot of people that I have no idea who the hell they are, just TikTokers and people like that. Angel Di Maria, futbolista. He's 38. I creo que es gallego, ¿no? Di Maria es gallego, ¿no? Let's see. Simon Pegg, love his roles in the Mission Impossible. Actor is 55. Who else celebrating birthday? No, that's it. It's a weak list overall, dude. All right, Mr. Sean Stanley, what you got for us there in wrestlers born on Valentine's Day?
Ayako Hamada turns 44.
Gesundheit.
Hiroko Suzuki is 50. James Bronson is 44. The innovator of violence on Valentine's Day, Tommy Dreamer. He turns 54. And Viscera, Mabel, Big Daddy V was born on this date in 1971. Sadly, we lost him in 2014. Those are your birthdays on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025.
All right, good shit. All right, let's go to music history. Let's find out what happened today on February 14th on Valentine's Day in music history. In 2000, Kiss announced that they were going to do a farewell tour in makeup and then sell off the stage props from their career in an auction. In 84, Elton John had a romantic Valentine's Day marrying recording engineer Renette Blauel in Sydney, Australia. However, the couple divorced 4 years later. In 87, Bon Jovi started a 4-week run at number one with their hit song, Living on a Prayer. It was the second chart topper for Bon Jovi. In 86, Frankie Zappa appeared on an episode of Miami Vice playing a crime boss named Mr. Frankie. In 99, the Deftones had most of their instruments and equipment stolen from their truck. The rig was parked at a Holiday Inn in Dearborn, Michigan, as the band got ready to play their final stop of their trek, opening for Black Sabbath. In 92, Wayne's World premiered in America, leading to a resurgence in Queen's popularity because of Bohemian Rhapsody. And that's what happened today in music history. How about that? So ESPN is not renewing the Formula One rights. Did you see that? I saw that headline this morning. It says, per John Allrand, the top contenders to pick up the racing circuit are Netflix and NBC. Netflix had that special for F1 guys. By the way, they pay $90 million a year for it, and they only draw 1.1 million per race.
Most of your races are so early in the morning. I think it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of, just doesn't catch on here, I don't believe. There's F1 fans here, but at 8 in the morning, you're not waking up to watch.
Why won't people admit it? F1 is boring, bro.
It's predictable.
It's boring.
You got the most money, you're going to win.
Yeah. And you get ahead, and that's it. You're done. There's very little passing going on. There's all this money and all this glitz and glamour. The race sucks. So you go there, you spend a ton of money because they do a marvelous job of dressing it up and all that. But the substance of F1 sucks, dude. The same guy wins, and he'll win forever, and then they'll switch, and another guy will get it, and they'll have it going on forever, and they'll win, and it's just like, it's so predictable, so boring, and people, the ratings tell you all you need to know, dude. NASCAR is exciting. NASCAR is drama-filled. NASCAR is not the same guy dominating. I mean, there's even storylines to NASCAR.
Yeah, there's some building. You got the guys that win,
rivalries and stuff.
You change new faces and new places every year with, some of the free agency. You got cars that Stewart Haas Racing went away. Haas kept one car, so they sold 3 of their charters. So now other teams added in players. So it's, and again, you also start, it's interesting too, because NASCAR really starts with their Super Bowl, which is the Daytona 500. That's like their,
right.
And then they end, of course, with their championship. But the Phoenix race, you go for the next 38 weeks, you have 36 races. So, that's NASCAR.
Yeah. NASCAR is, I'd rather watch NASCAR 100 times over than F1. It's better, man. F1 to me, I'll go if I'm invited and I go hang out, but I won't even pay attention that much for the race. It'll be more about people watching and all that other shit. And I think that's what it is, more about that than it really is the sub.
F1's about the experience, not the product on the track.
Yeah.
Whereas NASCAR is kind of more about the product on the track, but then there are some experiences, but not.
But they all play
not that F1 experience.
But they play off of what's going on the track.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
it centers around the product. Where F1, it's all about.
It's the stars. Like
stars
when they come here, think about it. When it's here,
right.
It's more about.
Yeah, it's not about the racing.
Fluff than the racing.
It's not about the racing. They're not showing about great racing or anything. They just show the they start and then they show you the finish crossing. Boom, that's it. There's no drama or anything. And that's why you get shitty ratings. It's such an overrated sport. When I saw that, I was like, okay. And then I looked at the ratings and it's like, yeah, bro, it's people feel like I do. F1 ain't shit. It's really not that impressive as a race itself. The cars are impressive and they're fast and they're beautiful and sleek and all that. But the substance of the race itself sucks. Sucks. When shit is already kind of rigged and set to, and you already know what's going to happen, there's no fun in that. Oh, Max Verstappen's going to win. Okay, great. Lame. Let's see what else. Kanye's rep came out and said the divorce stuff's just rumors. The Dolphins need to draft a quarterback in the middle rounds of this year's draft so they have a position. Yeah, let's hope so. If somebody you like, I agree with that. How much do you think XRP will get to? I think like $4, something like that, in this bull run. Yeah, 4, maybe 5. It could get to. But I don't have it going to $10, $15 like a lot of other people. I just don't. But it might. You never know, man. You never know. F1 has the fastest cars, but because of the track configurations, they can't pass another. It's real stupid. I know. It's lame. Just really is. We already have racing culture with NASCAR in the States. It's a downgrade with F1. So you're saying F1 is as shitty as Jimmy? Yes. I would say that F1 is not as shitty as Jimmy. Jimmy is shittier than F1, but it is shitty. I mean, when you literally shit yourself, you are the shit. So other things that we say, oh, you're the shit. Well, you know, you're kind of saying that you might be, because you're not. But when you talk about Jimmy Butler, he is literally the shit. Some guy on Twitter yesterday goes, well, the Heat are shitting themselves without Jimmy Butler. And I said, no, sir. No, they're not. Jimmy Butler is the only one that is literally shitting himself, sir. So you're wrong. I'm just saying, you can say that the Heat is playing bad without Jimmy Butler, but you can't say they're shitting themselves, because I can say Jimmy Butler without the Miami Heat is shitting himself. Pat cries, Jimmy shits. You know? Didn't Madonna make a song about that? Don't shit for me, Jimmy Butler. Right? Yeah. She's standing on a balcony. Don't shit for me, Jimmy Butler. Yeah. And there was a movie or something. I think she got nominated for something. It's impressive. NASCAR drivers actually fight, and cars are always bumping and crashing, not like F1 where they're instantly destroyed. Yeah, well, that's kind of like Indy too. When you have open wheel, it's you can't. It's not made for that, bro. You know, it's when you have open wheel, you're supposed to be the Floyd Mayweather of racing. You race, but don't get hit. You box, but don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
But to me, that's where Indy at least is taking a step forward, because they've added oval courses to their racing now. It's not just those, whereas F1 is still just all your, at least Indy,
road courses.
Of course, you always had the Indianapolis 500.
Well, they're called road courses,
but they've
right?
done the road courses, but they've done Vegas, and even like NASCAR now got popular enough to where the July 4th race, they shut down Chicago.
Right.
They do the street race in Chicago for the July 4th weekend. So
yeah.
And then, I mean, now you've got Pitbull in it. You've got Michael Jordan. So they're also appealing to that pop culture as well.
All right. I like that. I like it. But, you know, I really thought that Johnny Manziel and Josie Canseco, I thought they really had real love. I thought it was going to last forever. I really didn't. I still have hope. Maybe they'll get back together. Are any crypto games worth playing to earn Bitcoin? Obviously, I know they're time consuming. I wouldn't know anything about that. I am so sorry, my brother. I just don't do that. So I don't know anything about that. I'd be lying to you. You know? So you know me, bro. I don't want to bullshit. I tell you straight, whatever it is, I'm going to give it to you straight, good or bad. I don't really care. So I don't know anything about that, man. So can't lead you there, can't help you, can't tell you if it's good or bad or any of that stuff. I just don't know about that stuff. Not my cup of tea. We thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg, of course, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people here, and, of course, Mr. Zinn for being a proud sponsor of our platform for many, many years. Now, it's like 14 years or something like that. They've been a sponsor here with Seth Finkel starting off, and now Larry Schlossberg out here at Acura Pembroke Pines, and always appreciative. And we thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley, always by my side. Appreciate all of you out there. If you hit the like button, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you send in a super chat or Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, however it is, you visit our amazing sponsors. Thank you. We appreciate it. We shall see you. Well, I'll probably do a Crypto Bro show over the weekend. I'll do at least one. And, of course, it'll be either Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I'll do a Crypto Bro show. And, of course, if not, for sports, we'll see you on Monday morning at 10 a.m., same time, same place, same bat channel.